Listen, if you want a different life, you gotta do what most people never do. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Discipline isn't cute, it isn't fun, and it definitely isn't something that magically shows up one morning like Amazon Prime. Discipline is something you force out of yourself. Force. Not feel like it. Not wait for the right moment. You push it out of yourself the same way you push through the last rep in the gym when your arms are shaking and your brain is screaming quit. Because here's the truth most folks in the US never want to admit. Your feelings are lying to you. Your comfort zone is lying to you. Your excuses are lying to you. But your future? Your bank account? Your goals? Those things don't lie. They expose exactly how disciplined you are, or how undisciplined you've been. So today, let's talk about forcing discipline even when you're tired, unmotivated, stressed, broke, annoyed, or just straight up not in the mood. Because the world doesn't care about your mood, but it will respect your results. You ever notice how all the successful people in America have one thing in common? Not luck, not intelligence, not talent, discipline. Relentless, unshakable discipline, even on the days when life hits them like a truck. And if they can build it, so can you. So sit back, take a breath, and lock in, because this audiobook might be the one that flips the switch inside your mind forever. You don't become disciplined by thinking about it. You become disciplined by doing the thing you said you would do even when every cell in your body wants to quit. Waking up early isn't discipline. Waking up early when you slept only 5 hours and still choosing not to hit snooze, that's discipline. Going to the gym isn't discipline. Dragging yourself there on the days your body feels like concrete, that's discipline. Working on your goals isn't discipline. Showing up consistently when nobody claps for you, nobody sees you, nobody believes in you, that's discipline. Let me say this loud for the people in the back. Discipline isn't a mood. Discipline is a decision. You don't wait for motivation. You manufacture momentum. And the fastest way to build discipline is to stop negotiating with yourself. The moment you start giving yourself options, you lose. Humans love shortcuts, easy paths, and excuses. But greatness doesn't care about shortcuts. If you want to force discipline, you need a do-it-anyway mindset. You're tired? Do it anyway. You're stressed? Do it anyway. You don't feel like it? Still do it. Because 9 times out of 10, the action you avoid the most is the one that will level up your entire life. People ask, how do I stay consistent? Simple. You build a routine so strong that skipping it feels weird. Like brushing your teeth. You don't skip brushing your teeth because you trained your mind to see it as non-negotiable. Imagine if you trained yourself like that for your goals. That's how discipline becomes automatic. Not by inspiration, but by repetition. And here's the wild part. The more disciplined you are, the easier life gets. Your mind gets clearer. Your stress drops. You start trusting yourself. You stop being scared of challenges because you know you can handle them. Discipline is freedom. It sounds backwards, but it's the truth. When you control your actions, you control your results. And when you control your results, you control your life. You know what really messes people up? They think discipline is supposed to feel good. Like it's some magical power that suddenly clicks one morning after watching a motivational video. Discipline feels like trash in the beginning. It feels uncomfortable, annoying, boring, slow, and sometimes straight up painful. But here's the plot twist. That feeling is the whole point. Because if discipline felt easy, everyone in America would be rich, fit, confident, and living their dream life. But they're not. Because the moment something gets uncomfortable, most people dip. They bounce. They quit. Then they blame life, timing, luck, the economy, everything except their lack of discipline. Let me break it down like this. Your brain is built for survival, not success. It doesn't care about million-dollar goals. It doesn't care about your dream house, dream body, dream lifestyle. It cares about comfort. Your brain wants you warm, fed, rested, entertained, and safe. But discipline? Discipline wants the opposite. Discipline wants growth, pressure, challenge, consistency. That's why discipline and comfort cannot coexist. You gotta pick one. Comfort keeps you stuck. Discipline moves you forward. Slowly at first, then suddenly. Have you ever noticed how nothing changes, and then everything changes at once? It's that first part, that slow grind, those small boring routines, that builds your character. The results come later, way later. But the discipline? That starts now. And here's something most people never realize. When you force yourself to do something repeatedly, your brain adapts. It literally rewires itself. The thing that felt impossible last month becomes normal today. What felt painful becomes manageable. What felt heavy becomes light. And once that happens, discipline stops being a fight. It becomes your automatic mode. Think of any strong person you admire, physically, mentally, financially. You're not admiring their talent. You're admiring their discipline. You're admiring the thousands of silent choices they made when nobody saw anything. They weren't more motivated than you. They weren't born different. They simply forced themselves to stay consistent until discipline became part of their identity. And that's the key word, identity. Discipline isn't just what you do. It's who you become. When you start seeing yourself as the type of person who finishes things, everything changes. Your choices change. Your habits change. Your standards change. And suddenly you stop allowing weak behavior from yourself because it doesn't match who you are anymore. But getting there means you gotta push through the ugly part. The doubt. The resistance. The frustration. The I don't feel like it. The I'll start tomorrow. The one day won't matter. All lies. Your brain is feeding you all that because it wants comfort. But you're not here for comfort. You're here for transformation. So if you want to force discipline, here's something simple. Set the bar low, but set the standard high. Even if you start with tiny actions, do them like your life depends on it. 5 push-ups. 10 minutes of reading. 1 hour of focused work. Drink water instead of soda. Go for a walk. Show up on time. Clean your space. These tiny things seem pointless until they stack. Then they become the reason you're unstoppable. And here's the real trick. Don't trust your emotions. Trust your commitments. Emotions change every hour. Commitment stays. That's why disciplined people look strong. They're not strong. They just don't let their feelings run the show. Imagine if every time you wanted to quit, you said, "Nope, I owe this to my future self." Imagine if every small action built your self-respect instead of breaking it. Imagine if you became the kind of person who doesn't fold when things get hard. People like that win. Boys. Because discipline beats excuses 100% of the time. And here's the final truth for this chapter. Nobody is coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no parent, no miracle. Your life changes the day you decide to force discipline into your daily routine. Not tomorrow. Not next week. If you're still listening, that means something inside you wants more. More strength, more growth, more self-control, more success. Hold on to that feeling. Because that's the spark that discipline needs. The spark becomes a flame. The flame becomes a wildfire. And soon, nothing can stop you. There's a moment in everyone's life when they look in the mirror and realize, I'm the only one responsible for how my life looks right now. Most people avoid that moment. They distract themselves, blame their past, blame people, blame money, blame stress, blame anything so they don't have to face the truth. But disciplined people? They stare at that mirror and say, yeah, this is on me. And that means I can change it. That's the real turning point, when you stop playing the victim card and start acting like the main character. Because main characters don't wait. They don't hope. They don't sit around wishing for better days. They build the better days. Brick by brick. Habit by habit. Choice by choice. And let me tell you something real. Your life will not change without sacrifice. People lie to themselves about this every day. They say, I want success, but they don't want to give anything up. They want discipline, but they want comfort too. They want results, but they don't want the grind. You can't have both. If discipline is the door, sacrifice is the key. You want a better body? You sacrifice junk food. You want money? You sacrifice weekends and laziness. You want a sharper mind? You sacrifice mindless scrolling. You want peace? You sacrifice toxic people. Every version of your future requires a different sacrifice. And the craziest thing? The moment you finally sacrifice what's holding you back, your life gets lighter. You feel freer. You feel sharper. You feel stronger. Because discipline isn't just about forcing action. It's about removing everything that kills your momentum. And trust me, you already know what those things are. Everybody does. There's always something in your life right now that is draining your energy. A habit, a person, a routine, a behavior, and deep down, you know it needs to go. But the longer you keep it around, the longer you delay your own greatness. You ever notice how some people keep repeating the same year over and over? Same complaints, same problems, same goals that never get done. It's because they're loyal to their comfort more than their future. They want a new life with old habits. Impossible. Discipline forces you to level up. It forces you to let go. It forces you to grow up and act like the person you claim you want to be. And here's something nobody says out loud. Discipline hurts at first, but regret hurts forever. The pain of discipline lasts minutes. The pain of regret lasts years. You don't want to be 10 years older, looking back and saying, man, I could have been somewhere else by now. I should have tried harder. I wasted so much time. That kind of regret hits different. It hits your chest. It hits your confidence. It hits your soul. So imagine this. Every discipline choice you make today is saving you from a future filled with regret. You are protecting your future self like a shield. People always ask, how do I build discipline fast? Here's the truth. You don't build it fast. You build it daily, consistently, intentionally. And then one day, you wake up and realize you've become unstoppable. But it starts with one thing: keeping your promises to yourself. That is the core. That is the foundation. If you tell yourself you're gonna wake up early and you actually do it, that builds self-respect. If you say you're gonna work out and you show up, that builds confidence. If you say you'll work on your goals and you follow through, that builds identity. Every broken promise destroys your discipline. Every kept promise strengthens it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent enough that your mind stops doubting you. Because the moment your brain sees that you follow through no matter what, it stops fighting you. It stops resisting. It starts cooperating. That's when discipline becomes your autopilot. Imagine living life like that, where discipline isn't a struggle. It's just how you operate, where you don't think twice. You simply do what needs to be done. People around you start noticing. They say things like, you've changed. You're different. You're focused. You're leveling up. And that's when you know. The new you is taking over. This isn't about forcing yourself forever. It's about forcing yourself long enough for discipline to take root. And once it does, you won't be able to go back to the old you. Because the old you simply won't fit anymore. There's something powerful that happens when you stop lying to yourself. Because deep down, you know exactly when you're playing small. When you're slacking. When you're choosing the shortcut instead of the standard. You feel it. Your chest gets heavy. Your mind gets loud. Your body feels out of alignment. That's your conscience trying to get your attention. That's the real you, the future you, knocking and saying, "Wake up. We're better than this." Most people silence that voice. They drown it in entertainment, scrolling, eating, excuses, distractions, anything that keeps them from facing the truth. But disciplined people? They listen to it. They honor it. They treat it like a warning sign that they're slipping. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Your life doesn't fall apart all at once. It falls apart quietly, one undisciplined choice at a time. Skip one workout. Ignore that task. Sleep in. Procrastinate again. Tell yourself, it's not that deep. Repeat it enough times, and suddenly your life is miles away from where you wanted it to be. But the reverse is also true. Your life improves quietly, one disciplined choice at a time. One small decision. One moment of self-control. One task done when you didn't want to. One uncomfortable action taken anyway. And then one day, everything shifts. Your energy changes. Your mindset sharpens. Your confidence solidifies. And people start asking you, "What happened to you? How did you level up so fast?" They don't realize it wasn't fast. It was silent consistency. It was discipline when nobody watched. And the craziest part? Discipline creates a kind of internal peace that nothing else can. Not money. Not fame. Not applause. Because when you're disciplined, you trust yourself again. Your mind gets quieter. Your anxiety drops. You stop feeling like you're behind. Because every day, no matter what, you're moving forward. You become proud of yourself, and that's something money can't buy. But let me be honest with you. There will be days when everything inside you wants to quit. Days when you question if it's worth it. Days when your progress feels invisible. Days when life hits you so hard that discipline feels like the last thing you can focus on. Those days are the most important. Because discipline means nothing when life is easy. It only counts when life is heavy. Anyone can be consistent when things are smooth. But being disciplined when everything is falling apart? That's what builds real character. That's what separates winners from almost winners. That's what creates people who don't just survive, they rise. On those days, remind yourself, you don't have to feel good to do good. You don't need motivation to move. You just need to show up. Even if it's small. Even if it's messy. Even if it's slow. Show up anyway. Because discipline isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Every step counts. Even the tiny ones. Especially the tiny ones. And listen, you're not doing this just for discipline. You're doing it for the life that discipline gives you. The confidence. The mental strength. The self-respect. The opportunities. The freedom. The version of yourself that you know you can be. Imagine waking up 1 year from now. In the best shape of your life. With a sharper mind. With stacked wins behind you. Discipline engraved into your identity. And a level of confidence you've never felt before. That version of you is real. They're waiting for you. But you have to earn them. Not by wishing. Not by planning. But by forcing discipline today. And again tomorrow. And again the next day. This is how you build an unstoppable life. Quietly. Consistently. Relentlessly. Until the old you doesn't exist anymore. You know, at the end of the day, discipline isn't about just doing hard things. It's about choosing the life you actually want over the impulses that try to drag you somewhere else. It's the quiet decision you make when nobody's watching. The choice to show up when every excuse is begging you to quit. The choice to keep going when zero motivation is left in the tank. And here's the truth most people never hear. You don't suddenly become disciplined. You build discipline. You train discipline. You practice discipline. Every night you go to bed a little better or a little worse. Every choice rewires your identity. Every small action is a vote for the person you are becoming. You want to know what truly separates the unstoppable from the average? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not confidence. It's this. They show up on the days they don't feel like it. That's the secret. That's the edge. That's the superpower. And if you're listening to this, you're already different. You're already stepping into a version of yourself that most people never reach. You're choosing growth. You're choosing discipline. You're choosing to rise above comfort. So here's my last message to you. Stop negotiating with your mind. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop living in the trap of tomorrow. Move now. Start now. Push now. Because the version of you that you dream about, the disciplined, focused, unstoppable you, that version is built through action, not intention. And one day, you're going to look back and realize, this moment right here, this decision to take control, was the turning point of your entire life. So take a breath, and step into the discipline that's been waiting for you. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. If you want a different life, build different habits. No more waiting. No more excuses. Go prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. Your future starts right now.